his big hunter deck.
Easy, big, easy hunter.
Easy, big, easy hunter. And Pavel, like you said, banned the Warlock, so he did not ban Priest, which I haven't seen Priest played a whole lot this tournament. I feel like it's been probably the most popular ban, with Warlock being the second.
Yeah, I think Priest was the go-to ban. The one game I didn't ban Priest was because Nicolina didn't ban Priest, and I saw that Tice's Priest was Dragon Priest. So other than that, I would have banned Priest myself still.
Are you still in the...
No, I'm out yesterday.
Okay. Sorry. I was curious.
All good.
But yeah, so AKAWonder is playing what I presume is a Razakis Priest.
Yeah.
Pretty standard. And this is one of the surprising cards that has been very strong today. Candle Shot. Zixo's playing it in his aggro hunter thing, and Pavel's playing it here. And I think if Pavel wins this game, I think hunter decks are 100% for top 8ing. Like, I'm pretty sure not many people brought it.
Yeah, I think it was just those two bringing it.
Which is really impressive. It just goes to show that this format has a lot to still be figured out.
Yeah. The hunter deck looked like pretty unimpressive the first game he played it against Eloise. But ever since then, it's been doing pretty well.
Yeah. I am a fan. And AKAWonder here, he's got an answer to this, and he can develop the secret if he wants to.
I guess there's no reason not to. Like, you could save it for like 2 more damage later, but that's not really helping you.
Nope. I mean, sometimes it just develops a minion as well.
Yeah.
Like, if this Candle Shot attacks at all, like say he tries to proc Explosive Trap right now, like he's doing, he might just... AKAWonder might just get
he gets a 3-drop.
Decent minion. Yeah, and that's a Shattered Sun Cleric. 3-2, not bad, but it will die to the Explosive Trap, and...
It potentially sets up the Glimmer Root to die, but he can also just heal that. If he even wants to attack at all, do you think that you would attack him on the spot?
I would attack before my opponent gets the
Eagle Horn
bow down.
You don't want to give them extra charges.
Otherwise, you're just never attacking, right?
Yeah.
And he's already played 2 secrets, so the Spellstone's pretty much already online, right?
Yeah, they summon 4 3/3s.
Attacking pretty much only just gets rid of your Shattered Sun Cleric, which I don't think you really care about too much.
Mean, you could just say as an argument that like they may want to play the card next turn, so you play the so you don't attack at all, so that you can trade into an extra one, because you don't have AoE to deal with it right now.
That's true. So you could potentially hit Curious Glimmerroot into like the 3-drop and have it value trade, or just give up the Shattered Sun Cleric and then trade the Glimmerroot into one of the Wolves. Yeah, that's true. AKAWonder does not have much going on for him, but once he gets to turn 7, Psychic Scream is probably the best card against this big hunter deck.
You just give them more, like, if you're shuffling small minions into their deck, that's more things for them to hit with their, like, Barnes and Katharina.
And their whole deck revolves around Death Rattles, which the Psychic Scream does not proc.
Yeah. And Pavel finally gets the Spellstone, so it's a little too late. It would have been really nice for him to have on 5 and be able to actually pressure with it for a turn before AoE was an option. But it's still, like, one of the two, Katharina or the Spellstone's going to bait an AoE, then he'll still have the other.
Yeah, and AKAWonder picks up Prophet Velen off the top, just decides to play it. I like this a lot. Pavel, he's probably played a lot of games on stream, and I don't actually think he plays Deadly Shot in his deck.
Oh, okay.
So AKAWonder knows this by now. He's been watching the VODs. He knows what Pavel's playing. So if he knows that there's no Deadly Shot in the deck, that Prophet Velen is most likely safe aside from a Beast plus Kill Command turn, which is very difficult. I don't think Pavel can actually play a Beast and Kill Command in the same turn. I think all his Beasts are just big boys.
Yeah. Well, he could have with the coin, like the Spellstone plus Kill Command.
Oh, true.
But, like, also off Katharina, he could have gotten King Crush to just kill the Prophet Velen, so I definitely agree with the Katharina.
Oh yeah, the Katharina was definitely correct there, especially if he has King Crush to pull. I think you're pretty far behind, honestly. So once you get behind, I feel like you need to take some risks, and risking getting King Crush is...
Yeah.
I would do it. could silence and
Yeah,
death.
silence death. Would you circle here?
Yes,
Yeah. Want to get your Prophet Vellum back up?
for sure. I would even consider Spirit Lash, but like you could circle Spirit Lash heal. Oh, he's gonna go for that. I like it. Spirit Lash only deals 2. You heal 4 to the Velen. You're at full life now. This can't really die aside from Kill Command.
Yeah.
Plus Beast, which Pavel does have. Nice. Only makes 3 3/3s.
Yeah, he drew it later, and he only was able to play 1 secret since then. This is going like pretty poorly for AKAWonder. He doesn't have any draw or either of his 2 pieces, the Anduin or the Raza yet.
Yeah, he's gonna really need to find something to do here, and if he decides to pull the trigger early on this Psychic Stream, he's gonna get severely punished by the Yasharaj. Although he finds the Ooze, which makes his turn a lot easier. He can put the Radiant Elemental on board and kind of bait Pavel into just doing more things.
This just gives him more time. That's what he needs.
Alright, Pavel doesn't even think about it, just slams the Yasharaj down, and I'm assuming he's gonna go face.
Yeah, trading doesn't really do much for you here. Your opponent only has 1 card in hand. Silence is gone already. Well, I guess 5, 6, 11, 13. Even if it was Mind Blast Holy Smite, he wouldn't be dead here, but I
mean, your opponent's at 33. You have to kill them at some point, or otherwise they're going to draw the good cards.
Yeah.
Because even Death Knight is insanely strong here.
Yeah.
So
I guess Death Knight would be the reason to trade, because if you get Death Knight, then he can kill the 2 beasts coming back as well. Although I don't think you can beat Death Knight anyway.
Yeah, I don't think
Pavel,
you play around
so
that.
You have to go face.
Ooh. I think Barnes is ironically one of the better ones to get off of the Yasharaj because it's not more value.
Yeah.
And maybe AKAWonder doesn't even. No way. There's no way he doesn't play the Psychic Stream, right?
I think he wants to get the card draw and just change the Cleric for a different card. He's still gonna play this Scream.
Oh, okay. I see. I like it. Very good for AKAWonder there. And he also fills Pavel's deck with a bunch of dead draws as well. So if Pavel draws any of those, like Radiant Elemental or
Radiant Elemental
Cleric, he just drawing dead cards. That's probably another reason why he traded in the Novice Engineer too.
Yeah. Yeah, Novice would be a better draw than the Radiant and the Cleric.
Yep, and AKAWonder just putting up some more defenses. I think eventually he's going to draw something good. Pavel's only at 9 health.
Yeah.
He's been using his weapon to just trade so often.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of had to, like...
Oh, yeah,
You have to use your weapon to get through the early stages of the game with this deck, since all your, like, cards are so big.
That's one of the very first lessons I learned when I played Hearthstone, that your life is the biggest resource.
Yeah.
Especially when you play decks like Rogue.
As long as your life doesn't get to 0, then
yeah.
like, use as much of it as you can to get control of the game.
Death Knight, ping face, hit face.
What
You go up to 20, your opponent showing 15.
So there's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15.
And then if you get 2 small cards, you do set up lethal, right? You have to spend 6 mana. Well, it
you
has
put
to
your
be
opponent
2
to
or
6.
lower.
You put your opponent to 6, so you only need 2 cards.
Yeah, they'd have to be 2 or less mana.
Wait, why 2 or? Oh,
Because
yeah.
power costs, also Raza and 5 or less, or 3 or less counts.
True. I think going face is like just the best option here for you.
Healing does nothing for you, and killing the 2/2 doesn't buy you an extra turn either. So.
Nope, I like this from AKAWonder. Very smart, and Pavel draws dead, so can Pavel even kill him next turn if AKA clears the board? Yeah, if he trades and starts to clear. If he doesn't just get lethal, obviously.
I mean, if you can clear the board,
there it
then you can
is.
kill them, yeah.
Mind Blast off the top. That'll do it. That's 6 damage in one card.
Yeah.
We didn't even think about that one. He didn't even need the second one. And that's going to be AKAWonder taking game 1 with his Razakis Priest against Pavel's Secret Hunter.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the matchups that Pavel probably... maybe he thinks he's like favored or something, because I feel like all the big decks generally do pretty well against the Raza Priest.
Like Big Priest and Big Druid do extremely well against Raza Priest.
Yeah.
But
Psychic Scream, man. That card
Psychic Scream
is
gets rid of a lot of the Priest bad matchups.
Yeah, that's just so huge, especially since the Hunter deck revolves around the Death Rattle so much.
The goddess is my shield.
Okay, we're getting into the second game, and
Ooh.
looks like Pavel's going with the Priest.
Yeah, I think Pavel's playing Razakis Priest as well. I usually don't see cycle cards in Pine-Saint's Potion and anything else. And this is actually a matchup I have not seen at all this tournament. It's so weird to me because that was probably the most popular matchup in like the last format.
Yeah, when the Druid or the Rogues are getting banned, you play a lot more Priest.
Priest was like the deck that you saw played, and now Priest is just getting banned so often that you just don't see Priest mirror matches anymore because it seems like at least one person always bans it.
Yeah.
But here, neither of the players did.
Yeah.
And we get to see the mirror.
The graphics wrong here. The Warlock was banned for both players.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, both players off to a pretty good start, but Pavel has the first part of the combo. He has Raza.
Yeah, and this Curious Glimmer could get other parts for AKAWonder.
All right, what's in the box?
It's a Dragonfire Potion.
That's not a good box.
Yeah.
I'm kicking that box down the street.
And he's gonna go ahead and trade his Blood Mage in so it doesn't get Potion of Madness or anything, and he can guarantee the card draw.
Yep, I like it. And Pavel just draws another card. He's pretty content.
Yeah, and Pavel's like not worried too much about this 3/3, so he doesn't want to use the Shadow Word Pain. And he's gonna get rewarded for it since the 3/6 is coming down now.
Yeah, I like it. The question is, do you want to Shadow Word Pain, or do you want to just develop Raza, go face?
It's probably fine to just develop the Raza, and I mean, you're getting the health back anyway.
Pavel decides to go with Shadow Word Pain. These are the little plays that are always very interesting to me because they're so close that it's hard to really tell what's right. It's just kind of like what you feel. But I feel like players like Pavel just know that one is better than the other.
Yeah.
So it's good to see those very like small decisions that don't seem like they matter too much because it's like you're gonna end up doing one the other turn, like whatever. But I think like you learn from watching players like Pavel.
Like my whole thing with it is there's not that many targets for death in this matchup, so I think the Raza gets dealt with very easily anyway. So like what Pavel could be thinking is AKAWonder is probably not going to develop anything. So he wants his Raza to be like a little bit better, but the thought process for playing the Raza first is you'd have more mana to work with if you're painting later, as opposed to Razaing now.
Right. And for me, like that, I would have played Raza there personally because my philosophy is like, if the decision is really close, I'd rather get the clunkier cards out of my hand, so that way I have more options in the future mana-wise, and I can fit things in easier, like you said. But when you see Pavel do the opposite, you're just like, all right, we might have the wrong thinking, the wrong thought process here.
Yeah. And he's still gonna delay this Raza for another turn.
I like it. And he finds Psychic Stream. Psychic Stream is so interesting to me because I've always wondered if there's been a game where somebody goes like, say there's a loot hoarder on the board right now. So you just played a loot hoarder yourself, and then Psychic Stream double loot hoarder into your opponent's deck before they played Raza.
Yeah.
Like before they found it. That'd be so funny to me.
I think it's an insanely good card in the matchup, mainly because you deny card draw from your opponent since Death Rattles and Acolyte don't trigger, and then you get more cards in their deck, so that they're farther and farther away from being able to activate, being able to draw their 2 combo pieces.
Yeah, and I think the real tough question Pavel has to answer is, does he want to do that and dilute his opponent's deck, or would he rather just take Power Word Shield and cycle through his own deck faster? Yeah. And he decides to go with Psychic Scream. He wants to just shuffle those minions into AKAWonder's deck, deny the draw from the Loot Hoarder, as well as make his deck a little bit worse.
I think it's somewhat close, but with the Loot Hoarder on the board, I think the Psychic Scream makes more sense to me.
AKAWonder. I mean, he has a lot of decisions that he could make, but he's on 6 mana. Like, you're never really playing the Auctioneer. I think it's just mostly going to be...
I think he's probably going to go with the Visions here, just kill off his Loot Hoarder, guaranteed the draw. And now he can take the Power Shield himself to continue cycling, because he doesn't have either piece of the combo yet.
Yep, I definitely like it. Ooh, he draws Blood Mage Thalnos. I think he'll still probably Power Word Shield, because playing the Thalnos is still susceptible to the Potion of Madness.
He could just hold on to this Power Shield for longer and just heal, or play the Thanos.
Oh, yeah. I like this.
Yeah, cycling the healing is good as well.
The only downside to doing that is that it's a 0 mana spell, so those are going to be insanely good later in the game once you have the combo online, and it's also just going to naturally cycle with the Auctioneer as well, because it didn't really cycle itself, it cycled the or the Blood Mage.
It guaranteed the cycle from the Blood Mage.
What is Elion's will?
Pavel is hovering over the Psychic Scream, and he looks like he does it on just those 2 minions.
Yeah, I mean, the Glimmer can be a good draw for your opponent, because like a lot of the cards that they're playing in their deck are also getting your deck into mirror match.
It's kind of funny, because I think he's going to get punished here. I don't think he has a way to deal with this Auctioneer.
Oh, if he plays that, he overdraws, so... he can't play the second Power Word Shield.
Unless he wants to take a real risk.
That's way too risky in this matchup.
No, you don't do it. You don't do it.
You need those 2 cards to win the game at all. I've like rarely won as Raza Priest with that by just pressure alone.
No.
Especially in the mirror match.
It's never right. It's always smart to just pass the turn here.
Yeah, it's an unnecessary risk. You still get the draw off the Power Shield anyway.
Yeah, later. You just have to wait a little bit. It's only 1 mana. You'll be able to fit it in. I feel like a lot of the times before you have the combo, you end up floating mana as Priest anyways.
What do you think Pavel thinks the card is, since AKAWonder had 1 mana left and was just waiting?
Smite? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Because that's a real consideration, right? If you had Smite there, whether or not you want to cycle or hold it for the combo.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pavel has to use the Pint-Sized Horror combo just to get rid of the Auctioneer, which is another slow turn. He's had this Raza the whole game, and he has not found a single turn to play it yet.
Yeah, that's kind of the weird thing to me. Like, the Visions and the Shadow Word Pain turn seem like pretty decent spots to get the Raza down. And like now that it's like later in the game, the Raza can die to like Enduin, for example, instead of like just the death.
Yeah. You are correct. And AKAWonder goes for that 1 mana potion. He does have the Velen in the hand, so that's pretty much your clear end game, is try to get the combo and then just one-shot them with Velen. I like it. And finally, the Raza comes down. That has been in the hand since turn 1 for Pavel. And he just has not found a single turn to play it. Now it's turn 9. He finally gets to put it down. And he decided to heal instead of play the Priest of the Feast. I like that, because Priest of the Feast is one of the ways that you can get back into the game if you don't have the combo for your opponent. If they use resources to get your life total lower or into a combo range, then you can just Priest of the Feast back up, and they kind of just wasted those resources.
Yeah. A lot of times with VIII, though, it does get to the point where you
They
can just deal
kill you.
30 damage,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really matter what health you can be. You can get up to 35, though, with the armor from the Death Knight.
Yeah, but you can't play around 30
Yeah.
plus damage. Ooh, interesting to see that he just used the 1-mana potion to cycle there. He feels like he's really behind, especially when he sees that Raza come down.
Yeah.
He knows that if Pavel has the Death Knight, he needs to just find his combo as quickly as possible.
And you can still do upwards of 30 damage even without the 1-mana potion.
Oh yeah, definitely. As long as you have Radiant Elemental, you can do an insane amount of damage with this deck. Now Pavel kind of has an interesting turn because he doesn't have too much going for him. And he doesn't really necessarily want to use the spells like Smite.
Yeah. Getting a really expensive spell is not what Pavel wanted to see here.
Does he? If he plays the Wild Pyro, there's no way you play Pyro and Smite. I would rather just Smite and try to find a 2.
Yeah, I don't think you're that threatened by the 3/3. I guess you wouldn't want to scream it back, but I think you can just take the cycle.
Okay, I like this. Just taking the cycle, seeing if you get there or not, and then healing up because you whiffed. Mind Blast. AKAWonder is getting a lot of damage from the hand. He has 14 without like anything extra.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even need the combo if he can just pressure Pavel a little bit more.
And he's gonna play this Akanai down to start doing that. Just 2 more damage a turn.
Yeah, he's gonna ping phase for 2, and if he can find 8 more damage, he just has lethal.
Yep.
He only has 7 though with minions on the board.
Yeah, and these minions are pretty likely to get dealt with.
Oh yeah, I think Psychic Scream is definitely going to come down here, which is really funny because that's the second Psychic Scream this game, and AKAWonder hasn't found a single piece of his combo yet, and it's just gonna. Oh, he even plays the Wild Pyro.
Is there gonna be duplicates, or do you remember if cleric or?
Oh,
there is. The Kazakus isn't activated right now.
Oh my god, the cleric was. Pavel played and healed, and then Psychic Scream.
Oh yeah, he
time.
did that as well.
He traded in the Novice Engineer.
So is there 3 clerics in his deck now?
There might actually be 3 clerics in
Wow.
AKAWonder's deck right now.
These Psychic Screams, and he didn't even play his natural Scream yet either, right? He got 1 from Visions and 1 from Lyra.
Yeah.
So there's even still 1 more Scream in the deck.
Imagine AKAWonder playing the cleric and healing to try to just get some cycle down.
Yeah.
And then Pavel Psychic Screams it again. He just never cycles through his deck to find the clerics to activate any of his cards.
Wow.
AKAWonder basically gave up his win condition to try to go all in and say, if you don't have the answer to Prophet Velen, I will kill you.
Yeah.
But if you do, you just win. The game's over for the most part, unless... I mean, he could top deck back-to-back clerics and then get his combo, but...
Yeah, and he's
I
already
don't know.
played like Circle of Healing, so he can't get like an insane amount of draw the first turn from them. But with Pavel having this Priest of the Feast and the heal for 12 with the potion, I don't really see what AKAWonder's win condition now is. Since other than having the Velen burst, it would be to just hit them a lot with the Anduin.
I don't really see a win condition for AKAWonder either anymore. Those Psychic Screams really just did a number on him.
Yeah.
This was super interesting to see how this game played out. I kind of said the Psychic Scream thing as a joke, like jokingly before, but now that it's actually happened, that's really cool. I wonder how often that actually happens in the Priest Mirror, where you can just Psychic Scream your own minion, and your opponent's probably naturally playing a copy of whatever you're also playing. So most of the time, it just shuts it off on the first try. But if you can just Psychic Scream double minions, like that's crazy to me.
Yeah. And like, I mean, Raza Priest by now is a pretty like streamlined list. Like most people's decks are the same, so being able to shuffle minions into your opponent's deck from your deck is insanely strong.
Yeah, I think they're probably all playing the same creatures, give or take 1 or 2.
AKAWonder is gonna start doing it now, but the Raza's already online, so
Yeah, and there's not much he can do at all. It's just kind of inevitable that Pavel will eventually draw cards like the Death Knight and then just kill him. Even though he's at 13, he does have greater healing potion. He can just play it, go back up to 27 with the heal, and just chill. I mean, there's nothing your opponent can really do. There's no pressure in their deck outside of the combo.
Glimmer could help a lot. And he gets another Kazakus that he can't play. I mean, I guess how many cards are in Pavel's deck? 9? I don't know. With the Raza already down, you can't stop the Anduin from beating you up once it's drawn by shuffling duplicates in your opponent's deck.
Yeah, and Pavel doesn't have too much going on for him this turn. He could just heal and pass and just wait, because honestly, you have the time to do that. But it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And drawing bind heal when you have literally nothing you can do, that doesn't feel good either. I feel like we're going to see a lot of draw passes until somebody actually gets something they can do. But AKAWonder has a lot more dead draws than Pavel right now. Pavel just needs to get Death Knight. AKAWonder needs to draw triple Northshire Cleric, Raza, and then Death Knight. Or
oh yeah, he hasn't drawn either of the combo pieces either.
no. I think Death Knight's his best draw.
Yeah, Death Knight's his best draw until like Cleric.
Oh, I guess you only need two.
Yeah,
you
we
only
only
need to draw two.
If there even is two, we know there's two at least.
What is it use with?
We just need to draw two Northshire Clerics.
And we're gonna just start beating him down with the 3/3.
Look at Pavel. He's just like, what? Maybe I wonder if Pavel even knows what's going. Like,
Yeah. It was so funny to see him so like animated on the mainstream. He was like giggling at everything.
yeah, he said he knew. Like, he's like, they're gonna love this.
Is it use with?
Because he actually just, like, he doesn't know all the new cards yet.
Which is like, even like, that says even more about Pavel. Like, he didn't know anything that much about the set at all, and he just got some decks off of people, and he's already in the decider match for the top 8.
I mean, it's Pavel.
Yeah.
It's like, just because you don't know the new set, it doesn't mean that you don't know the, like, you're not.
Yeah, you
fine-tuned
don't
on the-
lose your game sense just
Yeah.
because you don't know what a lot of the cards do.
Exactly. And he just come from China, so he's been playing for like, he was playing for 2 weeks or something, like high level Hearthstone.
Another turn of doing nothing for AKAWonder.
That doesn't feel good. You can trade Dragonfire Potion. That feels very sad. Or you can pass. Or go face pass. Also doesn't feel so good.
Yeah, AKAWonder is pretty sad with this game. Either way. Like, what can this Kazakus get to, like, potentially bring him back in the game? Like, what's the perfect Kazakus potion?
I don't think there is one. Draw 3 cards, draw all the cards you need. But you can't play Kazakus until you draw the cards you need anyways. So it's like, there is no potion that helps you that much.
And Pavel even has the third Psychic Scream in case there's any like big minions off of the Kazakus.
I mean, and he can just Psychic Scream Northshire Cleric if, for whatever reason, AKAWonder tries to play it to cycle. And that's another dead draw for AKAWonder. He's just sitting here, kind of just doing nothing. Nothing he can do. Oh, man.
That's an activated Kazakus. Much better than the
non-activated Kazakus. Draw 2 cards. And summon 2 friendly minions. I don't actually know if you want to summon, because there's a chance that you get...
Oh, he took that again.
Okay. Very smart from Pavel. You can't really take summon there because you could summon draw cards, which would make you overdraw. That's probably the one way you could actually lose this game, is to overdraw your Death Knight.
There was the duplicate Pyromancers as well in the deck.
That's actually really funny. We were talking about the clerics. Meanwhile, Pyromancer's also just chilling like, hey, he has a bunch of me too.
Even if AKAWonder does draw his Anduin, I don't think he like has enough cards to get the damage in, since he's used VIII, Mind Blast, Holy Smite already.
Yeah,
Like, even if he was able to just ping him for every turn, I don't think he has enough cards to deal the 41 damage.
No, probably not. But Pavel has approximately 20 million damage in the hand right now.
Seems
So-
like a pretty good estimate.
Yeah, it's like 28 or something like that. I don't know.
Darkness speaks to me.
It's definitely enough.
Well, Velen's 6, which is pretty quick to do. Then Mind Blast is 14, that's 20. Then he has a 0 mana spell and a 1 mana spell, that's 28. And he also has the Radiant for 32.
The light has betrayed me.
But he can't play Potion of Madness though, right?
Well, he has 32 with the
Yeah.
Binding Heal, not with, and 36
Yeah.
now.
And the silence. And that's going to do it. Pavel is going to take game number 2 and tie up the series at 1-1. Man, Priest is good.
Yeah, Priest is a really good deck.
I know why I banned it now. Were you on the banned Priest train?
Yeah, I was also on the Banned Priest train, and then I got 3-0'd by the Dragon Priest.
Whose Dragon Priest was it? Tyson?
Tice, yeah.
Oh, man.
I felt pretty confident against that, like skulking guys to get rid of Vinifiers, but I got smoked down pretty fast.
Dang, were you on the A stream when you
Yeah,
When was that, yesterday?
yeah, that was the last group of yesterday
Okay,
with
okay.
Nicolina and Orange.
Oh, right. Okay. I like halfway like fell asleep at the beginning of that group, and then I woke up later on. I feel like this whole place is just so comfortable. That
Do you
it's
feel
so
like you've gotten like adjusted to the time zone difference now, since that's like your first
God,
time?
no.
No?
Not at all. I felt like I could have slept another 12 hours this
Wow.
morning, but I had to come here to root for my boy.
Yeah. Hey.
What's up, Orange?
My beloved.
Okay.
Oh, snap. Tyler and Orange. Wait, that's not Monster.
Oh, Alliance is sponsored by Monster. That's why
Yeah.
he's drinking a Monster.
That makes sense. Enjoy your monster.
So back to the game. We have an amazing curve here from AKAWonder with the ramp into ramp into ramp.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the ideal druid hand, right? Actually, I'm surprised he didn't coin out the wild growth there.
Yeah.
Go into the... interesting.
I guess he's considering using the Nourished for draw in this case.
I mean, maybe. But...
Even then, still, you'd consider it. Like, you have the Innervate as well.
You just have a lot of ramp. I feel like you just want to get it out there as quickly as possible.
At last.
Ooh, finally an activated Kazakis. And what Pavel's looking for here is going to be to draw cards for sure.
Yeah, either draw cards or make like some sort of a tempo play to start chipping down at the druid's health total, so it's easier to OTK them once they
Alright.
get some armor.
Let's see what he took here. He took summon 2 friendly minions that died this game, draw 2 cards. Okay. So that's pretty much what he wanted. He just doesn't have a second minion dead yet.
Yeah.
But even like reviving a 3/3 and drawing 2 cards might just be good enough to play that on turn 5. I think it actually is, especially with this hand.
Yeah. I guess this actually makes more sense. Like this is the Miracle Druid, so you do want to draw if you nourish. So I guess you don't really want to coin out the and you get to save your coin for Auctioneer later as well.
Oh, okay. This isn't a big druid.
Yeah.
Very cool from AKAWonder. Also very smart play, by the way, to do that. But it's really cool to see these Miracle Druids. I was playtesting that a little bit, and it was a lot of fun. And they play one Jade Idol as well, just to give themselves inevitability. And sometimes when you're in the late game and you just have one Jade Idol, you shuffle the Jade Idol, and then you do things like the coin and the innervate, and you can actually make Jades very quickly.
Yeah. I remember the first time I played against it with Priest, I was in a pretty good position late game. I had Psychic Scream in my hand. I was like, there's no way they make Jades fast enough for me to not kill them, but he just gained a bunch of life and played all his Jades, and I was just dead in the next couple of turns.
And AKAWonder saving that coin early on is going to pay off here. He's going to get a draw with the Auctioneer and see where we go from here. And now he's deciding whether or not he wants to go with the Innervate. Maybe he just wants to Nourish, I guess. Interesting.
Well, I guess we could get this Arcane Giant down, because this is going to be before Anduin's available for Pavel, since AKAWonder had the coin, so he can like shuffle the Idol, then Giant, and Scales.
Yep.
The Giant.
Alright, so he's going to shuffle these Jade Idols into the deck. And... oh, Lesser Death or Soulstone. I like it. I like it.
Yep, and it'll get upgraded by the Earthen Scales.
Yep. And I think he just wants to gain 9 armor here.
Yeah.
That's why he's doing this instead of doing it in the opposite order, which if he did do the Earthen Scales onto the Gadget Stand first, he'd have a chance to just draw more cards.
Yeah, just draw another card to be able to play.
But if he naturalized his own Auctioneer, he could have made Pavel overdraw, which is funny.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I wasn't looking at Pavel's hand size.
Pavel, it would only be 1 card, so
okay.
it's never worth it.
Yeah.
But it's just something funny to me.
And AKAWonder has his Death Knight now, where he can use to start gaining armor and get out of the range of the burst combo of the Priest, at least.
And he can also upgrade the Spellstone as well with that.
Yeah.
So he has a 1 mana deal 6. That seems pretty good.
1 mana deal 6 is pretty strong.
And just Mire Keeper there is interesting. I thought he might have played the Arcane Giant that turn.
I guess he doesn't want to do it into the Anduin turn, just check for Anduin for 1 turn. Because as the Priest, you do want to get the Anduin down as soon as possible and start hitting them.
True.
Since the only things that it kills is the Arcane Giants, and you have like Death anyway for later. Just get the Anduin down as fast as possible.
Ooh, this is a lot of card draw coming out here from Pavel. That's a Circle of Healing for 5 card draw.
And this is a big reason why a Circle of Healing is like seeing play. Like you have the Auctioneer for the extra card, for the extra removal, but like, being able to draw with the Pyro and Cleric is insane.
I mean, that was one of the OG combos that I always thought was nuts. Like when I first started playing, I played against one of my real life friends, and he did that combo, and I was like, what?
How is this fair?
This was like when people were playing Injured Blade Master with Circle of Healing and stuff like that. And that was still crazy to me. I was like, whoa, you just made a 4/7 on turn 3? And now we just have 7/7 for 4.
How many cards in Pavel's hand? 9? So you probably want to get this Naturalized down this turn.
Naturalize is going to come down for sure. But I think the question is whether or not you want to play Auctioneer to try to find the second one. Which I really would love to see. Just go all out, try to find both of the Naturalizes.
Yeah. I guess if you're not playing the Auctioneer, your plan is to save it and
Use it with
the
Jade.
idols.
Yeah.
Since this, well, there is another Auctioneer in the deck because the other one got screamed.
Oh, true.
Yeah, screamed along with the Giant.
Huh. So it looks like
Oh, and he's choosing to not go with the Naturalize as well.
that's so weird to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like you just milled two
Like
cards.
your opponent having 9 cards in hand is the most optimal point to play the Naturalize.
Like you might never get that opportunity again. And that was a good target as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe AKAWonder was a little just tunnel visioned on clearing the board and didn't check Pavel's hand size.
Potentially. But now Pavel has a chance to get out of range of that if he wants to, but I don't think he's gonna really think about that. But if he did, then maybe he just goes Raza plus, I don't know, Loot Hoarder or something.
Well,
Ooh.
that doesn't get you out of because
Oh, right. This actually does, though.
the Shadow Word Pain does.
Smart plays.
Shadow Word Pain also doesn't have that many targets. Like
True, true, true.
your targets is like the Jades later on, maybe.
Yeah. And it looks like another Arcane Giant is going to come down. This Auctioneer is going to start cycling. Maybe AKAWonder realized that he had another Auctioneer in the deck,
Yeah.
and now he can just do this and go off here. I mean, Pavel has 8 cards. You can still overdraw him 1. Oh,
And
see,
these Jades are already starting to get big.
that's so crazy to me. Like, you're playing 1 Jade Idol in your deck, and that's it.
Yeah.
And they're just
There's
going
the
off.
Jade Blossoms as well to add to the counter.
Oh, true, true, true.
Because those were the first 2 Jade Idols he played to summon, so he played the Jade Blossoms to hit the 1 and the 2.
I think he's really deciding whether or not he wants to play Naturalize or just cycle.
Yeah. He's probably just looking for another spot where Pavel's at 9 cards in hand, but he missed his first opportunity to do that.
I mean, he might never get another one.
Yeah.
That's like my thought process behind that is like, you might just never get to mill him again. I mean, there's no real good play here for Pavel.
Yeah. There's just
Think you
no
just-
way to deal with these, so I guess you have to get the Raza down.
I think you just die. I don't really see anything besides Prophet Velen smite the Gadgetzan Auctioneer. Because if you
Yeah,
don't-
but then you like actually never win. You're not doing 53 damage without Velen.
if you don't,
I mean, if you die, then you never win too. But
yeah, I was like, there's a lot of damage on the board right now. 12, 16, 19, 23, 25, 25 on board
is that without the hero power?
with the hero power.
With the hero power.
25 on board with the hero power. So he has lethal. AKAWonder has lethal with the swipe. If Pavel doesn't heal the full.
Yeah, he plays the greater healing potion for essentially
Wow.
3 health because he had the free hero power.
I mean, I think that's just smart. Very
Yeah.
good read by Pavel to know that he would be dead if he didn't greater healing potion for 5 health.
The thing is, like, how does he win from this point? I think the
Death-
Psychic Scream that he's played was a natural one.
Death Knight,
There's still
Plus-
gonna be 3.
Death Knight plus Radiant Elemental, I guess, into a lot of 1-man. I don't know. I don't know, man. That's Pavel's job to figure it out.
Yeah.
And AKAWonder probably going to decide whether or not he wants to dedicate anything more to this board, or maybe even put Pavel at 1.
Yeah, if you put him in 1, then he only has the hero power to heal for 2.
Turn is not.
Yep, I like it. I like it a lot.
And,
Putting Pavel to 1 health.
We've seen the Priest of the Feast and the greater healing potion, so there shouldn't be other ways for him to gain health outside of the Death Knight, which he would be dead if he played.
Yeah, and this is going to be an Acolyte of Pain getting smited. Pavel is desperate.
And the Lyra's not gonna do it.
Nope. But Pavel's going to see what he gets off of the Lyra anyways before he concedes. It is finished. You win.
And AKAWonder takes the lead in the series, being up 2-1 on match point.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a really well played game by him, especially to do things like hold the coin so early on.
Yeah.
That was really interesting to me, and it ended up being very good for him. Obviously, at that point, we didn't even know what the deck was yet. We
Yeah.
just saw ramp cards, and I actually thought he was playing Big Druid the whole
Seeing
time.
the Earthern Scales made me think Big Druid, but Miracle
Yeah.
Druid also plays that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I saw the Earth and Scales. I was like, oh, okay, so it's just going to be a Big Druid.
Yeah.
And then you see Jade Idol, and then you're like, maybe it's not going to be a Big Druid anymore.
It's not gonna be. Well, it was still an easy game for him, but it
Easy
wasn't a
pick,
big
Druid.
druid.
Easy Miracle, easy Druid. And oh boy, this is looking like it's gonna go to a game 5 because that's a Keliseth on turn number 2.
Have you played much of this Miracle Druid against the Rogue decks?
Miracle Druid is bad against all aggro decks, in my
Okay.
opinion. You beat it. You play it to beat Priest and Warlock
Yeah.
and any other control thing that you might play against. I don't really know.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with Last Hero Standing, right? You want decks that like very specifically target an archetype.
Yes. Oh my God. All right.
Wow.
All right, Pavel.
There's
Calm
the Shadow
down,
Step
buddy.
and the Edwin for next turn.
Oh, I think he's gonna be greedy.
Yeah.
But I think if you're gonna be greedy, you wait a little bit before you play the Keliseth. Because once you play the Keliseth and then you wait, I feel like your
Yeah.
opponent kind of knows that you got something, and they're more likely to kill it.
But AKAWonder doesn't even have the option to be able to kill the Keliseth, and it's gonna
No.
get Shadow Stepped. And then
Replayed and then coin out the Fire Elemental and then play the...
would you play the coin? Because you know that there is a Naturalize in the deck.
Yeah.
I guess the coin isn't that necessary for your curve since you have the Serenite Chain Gang next turn anyway. But you could consider not coining the
I would just do it.
yeah.
Let's go. Oh, I like this. Gain 2
Yeah.
mana, play 2 Arcane Tyrants from AKAWonder. He does not just die because he has Spreading Plague.
I think he might be waiting another turn to play the Plague with the Tyrants.
Oh, he's not going to play the Tyrants this turn because
Yeah.
he wants them to live. Maybe?
He wants the extra taunts.
Oh, okay, so you're going to
From
say
the
he's going to
Spreading
trade the
Plague.
Tyrants in. Yep. You are correct.
Yeah, so he's gonna hold off on these Tyrants for one more turn, most likely. Just to be able to get the extra taunts from the Spreading Plague.
How long can this go on, Terrence? How long?
Not much longer with this 10-10 on board.
True.
But he's gonna play this Spreading Plague and get essentially 30 health and taunts.
30 health for 6 mana.
I'd take it.
I mean, what was that? Tree of Life was 9.
9. And you only got 29 health.
Imagine if there was like an ice block for Druid at that time. So you get like popped and then you just heal up to 30. That would be funny.
The thing is this Spreading Plague gonna be enough? And
It might be.
yeah, it might actually be. I don't think Patches was pulled from the deck yet, so this captain's pulling out a 4/4 Patches because of the double Keliseth buff.
Yeah. You could also Leroy here as well.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't be getting any.
They wouldn't be getting any whelps.
Yeah, I think the captain's a little better since you can have the Leroy as burst, but maybe the captain fits better into your curve. You just want to get used out of the Leroy.
Maybe you can also develop Worm somehow. So you clear. You're clearing only 2 more, so Worm's gonna be 3.
I think that
Oh wait, can you
develop
clear 1 more? Actually,
because
maybe.
the captain's a 5/5, so like, wouldn't you rather just hold on to the worm since you can't play captain and get the patches and play the worm?
Right. Unlucky for Pavel. That Flame Elemental could have been a 5/5. Ooh, that Innervate pickup is huge. Now we can just Ultimate Infestation.
Yep. And he's gonna use this, kill the South Sea captain, and get 5 new cards, and be able to develop a 4/4.
Man, Arcane Tyrant is so strong.
Yeah, I was playing around with it a little bit in Jade Druid. Do you like it in that deck as well?
I played in Jade Druid. I think it's very good. Help me out. Also, help me out. Dr. Jinky Ninky.
Yeah, you guys all 4
Yeah.
practice together for this, right?
And hey, boys.
And let's see what the Swashbuckler is. It's a
Ooh.
Druid of the Claw.
That's really good.
That's 4 damage.
I think it's actually 10 to the face. Because now Van Cleef
yeah.
might be able to get there. right?
Yeah, it is 10 damage to the face. Because you kill the 2 3s and then there's one health.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just charge this into one of the 1/3s, right?
Yep.
Or at least that's what I would imagine. Maybe he decides to taunt it up, but yeah, alright, I like
Pavel
this.
sees it.
Pavel sees the lines. Gonna go to the face for 11 damage with Van Cleef and the fire or flame elemental.
So what can AKAWonder do here? I imagine.
I think he can clean up a lot of this board.
Yeah.
He can swipe the Van Cleef and Earthen Scales, trade Tyrant into it. But then he has 5. He has a bunch left over.
There'd be a 3-1, a 4-2, a 3-2, and a 5-4, and he can trade into 2 of them.
I would have thought a little bit more before I played that, because I don't think that.
I think that makes the trades awkward now.
Yeah, I don't think that makes the.
Well, you can still put the 5-5 into the. Oh, he's putting 2 into that, and then taking the value trade.
Okay, I see it.
And then we're hero powering and blossoming, if we even are hero powering.
Either that or Mire Keeper.
Yeah.
Like just Mire Keeper.
So this bone mare is gonna be big. Oh, the bone mares are 7/7 too, so.
Yeah, that's pretty big bone mare. That
And this ultimate infestation won't be enough unless he picks up a Earthen Scales to be able to live.
Spellstone
Oh,
doesn't get there either.
Spellstone does a 4.
Yeah, it would only do 4. So it wouldn't really do anything.
He does pick up the Earthen Scales, so he will, or the Naturalize. The
Ooh.
Naturalize is even better.
Yeah,
Well,
like, I think it is.
Yeah.
Just getting the 7 damage off the board. What charge damage does Rogue have aside from Leroy?
Mm-hmm.
And if you get it off the board, like, how much can Leroy do? So 6, 7. You need Shadow Step for the
Yeah,
win.
it would have to be the second Shadow Step as well, since the Kaliseth was Shadow Stepped earlier.
So second Shadow Step is the out here for Pavel, and he hits it plus a South Sea cap, or South Sea deckhand.
Deckhand, yeah.
But actually, deckhand wasn't enough.
Yeah, this
Only
is
the
kind
Shadow
of why I
Step.
paused on the Naturalize for a second, because you're giving your opponent more cards, but I still think it was a correct play overall.
And to be honest, this was a really bad matchup for AKAWonder. This deck is not being played to beat things like Rogue. This deck is actually designed to lose to Rogue for the most part. You just take the win against the good matchups like Warlock or whatever, any control-based deck, and then you just immediately lose to aggro. That's usually how it goes when you play this deck, because we actually tested Miracle Druid a while, because for whatever reason, Meowth kind of just had a... he fell in love with that deck a little bit, and he was showing it to me. And it was actually really cool. I love the deck, but I just felt a little bit too weak since Jade Druid does the same job, but it can also beat
Yeah, it
decks
has a
like...
better chance against the aggro deck, so it's not as good against the control deck, even though it's still really strong.
Well, AKAWonder gave it a good shot, but in the end, Pavel drew Prince, LSF, and Shadow Step.
The one saving grace for AKAWonder right now is that Pavel doesn't have immediate follow-up, since the Minstrel and the Valspine are reasonably weak as follow-up for the Prince Kaliseth if he doesn't get away to combo them.
Oh man, look at AKAWonder shake his head, shake the computer. He is not happy to see this at all. And the only thing he can do is draw Prince Kaliseth of his own, but he doesn't. He draws nothing. He has to just hero power and trade into the Kaliseth, and if Pavel can get anything, I think AKAWonder just loses.
Yeah. So AKAWonder has to hope that Pavel keeps drawing cards that he's not able to develop. If Pavel's skipping next turn and then only has a 3/2 to play for 4, then AKAWonder can get the board back and have that be his out. Because if you have tempo, even though your opponent has the extra buff minions, you can still get through it.
And he decides to go with the captain here, which I think that's fine as well. And Pavel doesn't not find any follow-up here. This is, like you said, AKAWonder's saving grace, and on top of not finding follow-up, Pavel drew a spell.
Yeah.
That is the worst thing that you can draw after this happens. And AKAWonder is going on the offensive, and he actually has a lot of damage.
Yeah, and Pavel doesn't have a great way to deal with it. The best thing he can do with his hand currently is attack into the Firefly and get down the Corridor Creeper.
I think the best thing he could do is draw his own Celsi captain.
Yeah, I mean, with the cards he has available to him.
My
and that's
gosh.
another dead draw for Pavel, so we might be seeing the player with the Prince lose in this matchup. He's like very far behind at this point.
Yeah, if AKAWonder can find anything like Leap... as I say it, speak of the devil. Corridor Creeper go face for 6. Seems good.
Don't see anything else, just hit him.
Man, I counted AKAWonder out immediately.
So now here for Pavel, are we ever shadow stepping this Corridor Creeper to get the most damage off the board as we can, taking the value trade on the captain?
Vile Spine. Yeah.
That doesn't feel good at all. Hopefully he can get like a backstab would be ideal to be able to deal with this board.
I mean, even if you do all that, you're still dead from what we see in AKAWonder's hand. He can just Leroy Shadow Step.
Oh yeah, he can just play it now.
Yeah, he can just play it now, Shadow Step, and Bone Mare doesn't come down until turn 7.
Yeah, he
what
doesn't
other
have to
taunts
wait.
are there?
He doesn't have to wait all the way to turn 8. He can just get it down next turn and
Pavel,
go all in.
Pavel has one out, and that is Serenite Chain Gang.
Does he play Tower Creeper as well?
Oh, I think he might actually play Tar Creeper. And Swashbuckler could get something, I guess.
Oh, and he's taking the deckhand back to his hand.
I guess that means that that's still not enough if Pavel clears the board. That's interesting, because that might actually block him off of lethal. Like, he might actually not have lethal anymore because of that.
What do you think was the reasoning for shadow stepping this deckhand?
I don't know. I'm unsure. Maybe he wants a target with Bone Mare later if he draws that, or with Scalebane. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean it's a 5/1 with the Scalebane. Next turn, it's a combo activator. But other than that, I'm not really sure. But from Pavel here, he has to decide if he wants to leave this 3/3 up or if he wants to ever think about shadow stepping to be able to play the Vile Spine this turn. And he is going to go ahead with it.
And the Vile Spine comes out here. It's actually kind of weird that Pavel had the turn 1 double Kello step and then just hasn't really played buffed minions.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with playing like the...
I figured it out. That's why. He wanted the combo for the Vile Spine that he knew he was going to draw.
Yeah.
Easy. Rogue plays easy.
He does miss 2 damage this way, but he guarantees having the combo because the deckhand could have died to like say backstab or whatever. I think that is the play of this turn. Just deal with the Vile Spine and get down the deckhand.
Yeah, I don't really see anything else that he could be doing here. Yeah, Celsi deckhand comes down. Haha!
12, by the way.
12 damage to your face with Leroy Shadow Step. Eventually, maybe.
And I guess he was considering this Cobalt Scalebane this turn since he does have the Flame Elemental to deal with something next turn with the Vile Spine. But I think just clearing the board when you have this much, when you have burst in hand, your opponent's so slow.
Ooh, double Celsi captain. That's a lot of help on that patches.
So now AKAWonder doesn't have the game going into the next turn unless he picks up a second deckhand.
Now, do you want to play the second Celsi captain or just develop the Corridor Creeper here?
The second captain saves your patches, I guess, and makes the deckhand have to trade into it.
Yeah, I really like the second captain here, and the corridor creeper is just gonna end up being 0 mana once AKAWonder trades in, or AKAWonder.
Yeah, and the well, I guess the corridor creeper is a 7/7, but the captain's like essentially a 7/7 as well.
Right, because it buffs 2 minions and then has 5/5 stats itself.
Yeah, and then the corridor creeper just gets better later to like maybe proc the Elven Minstrel to look for a tower creeper next turn or something like that. That's what I think is like the best case for him.
Okay, okay. So he takes the damage and plays the corridor creeper.
Yeah, like if he has tower creeper in the deck, I would have liked to see him.
Oh no, this is
swap
only
it
a
around.
5/5 because he shadow stepped it.
Oh yeah, he did shadow step it.
So that makes it even more interesting to me.
I guess then he was worried about like another shadow step
Mm-hmm.
for the deckhand. Not sure.
So many.
It's interesting, but AKAWonder finally draws the Prince Calisteth, but that is a tad bit too late, my friend.
Yeah, and at this point, AKAWonder doesn't have the burst to immediately kill his opponent, and he's lost the board. So he may not even be able to get it back to the point where he's setting up lethal again.
I don't think he will be. That's really sad, because I feel like he had this game guaranteed.
Yeah, it looks so good for him going into turn 5.
Why would you play Leroy here? Oh, you're going to put your opponent to 2 and then SI wins. 6, 7.
Yeah, so you're going all in.
Right.
Because this plays around Bone Mare.
SI or bust, boys. That is what AKAWonder is saying.
Well, there's not actually the taunt, so deckhand also does it here.
True. And Pavel can just play Celsi Captain Corridor Creeper if he wants to. That seems pretty good.
Yep. And now it's all up to this next draw for AKAWonder to decide this match.
Yep, he has one draw.
One opportunity.
Mom Spaghetti. Mom
And
Spaghetti!
there's the SI7 agent to take AKAWonder out of this group and into the top 8.
This guy's toast.
That's insane. And there we go.
Yeah.
Shake of the hands. And that's going to be AKAWonder moving on to the top 8.
Yeah, and that's a very good decision by him to